Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO with a, I guess you could say, late night, early morning live stream. 8:26, 2023 at 2:48 a.m. So I got a couple of things that came across, and this is one of the main things that I want to actually, just in case you guys happen to see this a little bit later. I would actually like to see you guys' opinions in the comment section dealing with this topic where they said fantastic news. Phobic slurs are now punishable with a prison sentence in Brazil. The Brazil High Court ruled on August 22nd. The ruling, it was near unanimous and determined that slurs, phobic slurs, or hate speech is on the same level as racist hate speech, right? So this is what they further went into just a little bit when it came to the article. They said on Tuesday, the Brazil Supreme Court ruled that using phobic slurs is a crime punishable by prison. The ruling is the latest of several steps taken in Brazil to tackle homophobia, transphobia, racism, and other forms of bias that remain a significant problem for the country. The court issued a 9-1 ruling that declared phobic slurs or hate speech a crime for which Brazilians can be sentenced to prison. Under the new ruling, slurs can be, phobic slurs, can be prosecuted as hate speech, and authorities could potentially punish those guilty of such offenses with 2 to 5 years in prison. Like I said, I would love to hear you guys' opinion specifically about that again, just in case you guys happen to catch up to this pretty late. Again, I would love to know your opinions about this on what is going on in Brazil. Um, for me, I will say this, right? Now, again, you know, any form of speech against another person, I am against. But now to, in a sense, go to the point of like, all right, we're going to give somebody about 2 to 5 years of prison. That's crazy. That's crazy. Even when it comes to racism in America, I'm not looking at it to the effect of like, yeah, I'm trying to give somebody like 5 years of like prison time. I'm like, whatever. It's like you're gonna say whatever, and I'm still going to move on about my day. Prison time ain't going to sit up there and do nothing because at the end of the day, that person is still going to be that person. However they felt that time, they're going to feel that same exact time again. Just allow them to get drunk, inebriated or what have you, and they're still going to inevitably perform those exact same actions. Just because you lock somebody up in prison for 2 to 5 years does not mean that they're directly going to be rehabilitated. That's not how that works. We've seen that time and time again, a variety of times. So again, I feel, matter of fact, let me switch my words. They could have very easily directed this in a different type of manner. Like, all right, somebody says something and they were prosecuted. All right, they basically pay a fine. I'm not sure where that money is going to directly go, but they would basically pay a fine directly back to the community. You keep getting caught saying the exact same things or whatnot, whatever, then guess what? That price is going to go directly up for you. That will be more beneficial for the community as a whole versus trying to find another way in a situation to lock people up for free, because we're living at a point in time where everybody is pretty much soft, because that's crazy. Like, we're living at the point in time, like I said before, I don't like any type of form of racism when it deals with black people, but I ain't trying to sit up there and put everybody up in prison because that's not going to do nothing, right? If somebody doesn't like me because I'm black, putting them in prison ain't going to sit up there and fix that. That's a them problem. That's not a me problem. That's a them problem. That's something that they internally got to sit up there and deal with. Because at the end of the day, the world is going to get darker and darker and darker and darker. So, like I said, you either going to have to sit up there and move with the times or get left behind. That's how it is. But the main reason I wanted to bring this up to people is to show how dangerous this point in time in society is. I'm just using this as an example because if they could very easily, right, say that, okay, well, if you say, these slurs, right, then we're going to throw you in prison for like 2 to 5 years. What would directly stop a government from telling people that, hey, we're going to throw you in prison because you disagreed with the government or you specifically spoke out against the government? What's to sit up there and stop any government from trying to implement any type of rule like that where they could just throw you away? It's like, oh, you disagree with like the mayor, you disagree with the different laws or whatever we just passed, and you're being outspoken about it. Okay, 2 to 5 years in prison for you, labor camps for you, right? What's stopping any government from doing that? Because the funniest thing is, some people out there will more than likely state, well, people shouldn't be saying X, Y, and Z. This is pretty good. This will teach people a lesson. It's not really teaching a lesson because the only thing that is telling me is that people at this moment in time are so sensitive that in order for them to not hear, or in order for them to feel like they can control something, they're going to directly try to get those people away from everything else because they feel that, hey, well, if we exile you to this area, then that's one less person. We're going to slowly but surely get rid of anybody that wants to say this. And it's like, nah, you're trying to breed and instill fear into people. And this is how it starts. And a lot of people, again, are not seeing and understanding this. If you're basically in your feelings or in your emotions, you're not going to see or understand how it is that governments and public officials can easily use this against everybody else. I'm telling you, it's going to come to that point in time because people are literally, little by little, enabling the government to have control over what it is that people say, how it is that people say it, what time it is that you're literally starting that. Because it's not going to be too far from now that you will start to see some type of laws, like just like how they started putting up the TikTok ban in I think, what was it, like Montana, whatever it was. Uh, just like how they started implementing that ban statewide, right, for TikTok, they could very easily start to collect people's social media, right? And they're not going to go after the small things like, okay, well, guess what? You were racist here or you were phobic. No, 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 no. They're going to be like, okay, well, we see that you have a multitude of posts here and you're pretty outspoken about the government. We're going to ban on every platform that people use within our state. We're going to ban people or jail people or fine people if we find that on your social media post or on any type of videos that you've done, or even if you liked somebody's post, if we find that you liked somebody's post that was against the government, if you said anything against the government, if you made a video against the government, if you posted an article from some other news outlet that was against the government, we're going to fine you. If that doesn't work, we're going to jail you. If that doesn't work, we're going to sit up there and imprison you. And like I said, a lot of people don't even see what's taking place. A lot of people don't even see how it is that slowly but surely the people, quote unquote, are enabling the government to start to have full and total control over what it is that you can say and do and how it is that you're able to think. Literally, all you have to do is start with one, and that's it. And this is that start. And I'm going to sit up there and repeat this again, just like I said in the previous live stream. Just because it's not happening in America yet, just because it's not happening to your people yet, doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. All the things that are happening around the world are test runs. Just like right now, we got another fire that just started. Another fire that just literally just started. Let me see if I can go back to that. In Maryville, Louisiana, right? Like I said, all of these things are test runs, and people just have to really wake up and pay attention. That's all I want people to do. Like I said, you don't have to sit up there and believe anything that I'm saying. Go out there, everybody's grown. Go out there and do your own intelligent research. Go and view the information where you feel that is trustworthy and come to your very own conclusion. You know. So the next thing that I wanted to go over with you guys is this here. The United States CDC says that new COVID lineage could cause infections in vaccinated individuals. And this is taken directly from the Routiner. So YouTube, if you got a problem, take it up with the Routiner. This is just information that is directly out there. Right? They said that the United States Center for Disease and Control and Prevention, CDC, stated on Wednesday that the new the BA.2.86 lineage of the coronavirus may be more capable than older variants in causing infection in people who have previously had the COVID-19 or who have received vaccines. The CDC stated that it was too soon to know whether this might cause more severe illnesses compared to the previous variant. But due to the high number of mutations detected in this lineage, there were concerns about its impact on immunity from vaccines and previous infections. Scientists are keeping an eye out on BA.2.86 lineage because it has 36 mutations that distinguish it from the currently dominating XBB.1.5 variant. The CDC, however, stated that the virus samples are not yet broadly available for more reliable laboratory testing for antibodies. The agency had earlier this month stated that it was tracking a highly mutated BA.2.86 lineage, which has been detected in the United States, Denmark, and Israel. The CDC said on Wednesday that the current increase in hospitalizations in the United States is not likely driven by the BA.2.86 lineage. So again, be on the lookout because we're not even completely done with the year yet, and we already have something else in a sense getting thrown directly at us. Like I said, I need people to pay attention. Start, listening to some of the stuff that they, like I said, you can, take it how you take it, but pay very close attention to what it is that they might be telling you in, in the media, so that you can, be as prepared as possible, so that, you can get things straight, right? So the next story that we got here, which coincides with this, is this one here. Biden says another pandemic will come and the United States needs to start preparing for it. This was written June 23rd, 2022, right? So I'm reading this to you guys just to put this back into people's memories, right? Because you already heard the story that they already gave you, right? They already basically told you that there's two variants. So we're going back to the past, right? And this is when Biden stated this. President Joe Biden warned on Tuesday that the U.S. would eventually face another pandemic and said that the country must start preparing for it. Quote, we do need more money, right? And this is what he stated to Congress in order to get more funding for vaccines for infants and toddlers. But we don't just need more money for vaccines for children. Eventually, we need more money to plan for the second pandemic. And then he later stated, there's going to be another pandemic. We have to think ahead, right? So they said later on, Biden's proposed budget for 2023 suggests allocating about 82 billion over 5 years towards preparing for biological threats. One of its main goals is to create an environment in which the United States can make effective vaccines and treatments for a pathogen within 100 days of its discovery. The money would also go towards boosting healthcare infrastructure and expanding research to identify the threats. While the world has often gone through long periods without a pandemic on the scale of COVID 19, researchers state that the rate of new disease outbreaks among humans has been rapidly rising in the past 50 years. According to Duke's Global Health Institute, Institute 2021 study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science journal predicted that the probability of such outbreaks will grow by 3 times in the next few decades. Right? Later on, they also stated that according to the Center for Global Development, the belief that COVID 19 will be a once in a lifetime pandemic is likely untrue. Instead, researchers from the think tank have predicted a 1 in 2 chance that another pandemic as deadly as the ongoing one will break out over the next 25 years. The Microsoft co founder Bill Gates has also urged the world to put together a global team of scientists who can monitor outbreaks and help countries improve their epidemic response, stating that the world got lucky with COVID 19's relatively low fatality rate. Right? So, again, they stated earlier that, and this is from 2022, they stated Biden proposed a budget for 2023, right? And it suggests of allocating about 82 billion over 5 years towards preparing for biological threats. So again, like I told people before, pay attention. Things, are stated directly out there for people to pay attention and understand specifically what's going on, the potentiality of anything, happening. So again, don't be, too surprised or caught off guard if, we run into a, quote unquote, another pandemic, because they've told you. They told you specifically, what's out there, right? If you paid attention to the news, they sat up there and told you about disease X. They said that they don't know how it's, going to happen, where it's going to specifically, come from, how it's going to get transmitted, but they know that it exists. Right? Next thing I wanted to, let me see. Next thing I wanted to touch on is this here. Now, I'm pretty sure that a lot of people, that guy from Texas, what is up? What is up? What is up? David, what is going on? Well, I gotta say it differently. Goss, what is going on? David, what's happening? So what's happening to everybody in chat? So I'm pretty sure if any of you guys are directly on social media, if any of you guys would actually like to interact here for just a small bit, what are your feelings on the whole thing going on with Trump? Because I find it pretty interesting. At one moment where black people were not for Trump, and now you see fields of black people in a variety of states. People are literally, for Trump, right? And this is when, I told people before that it seems that the black community has a very short memory, because at one point in time, the images that you see of Ice Cube was literally trying to go to, he stated to everybody, he was like, hey, I'm trying to, get this plan through. I'm going to go to the Democratic Party. And, the Biden administration was like, hey, the plan looks like whatever, but you can hit us up after, the election, right? And he was like, all right, that's cool, but I'm trying to get this done now. So what Ice Cube did was he told the black community, he was like, hey, I got this plan here, and I'm going to try to go, to the Trump administration, since the Biden administration pretty much shut me down. So I'm going to try to just deal with the people that's in power, to try to really get this, put through, since some things seem to be getting done at this moment in time, right? That was his mindset. That was his plan. And literally overnight, just like how the media told everybody that Dave Chappelle was a drug addict because he opted, out of the plan. Um, and he left out with that 50 or that 100 million, and he went back home. But they said that Dave Chappelle, went on a plane, went crazy, and went to Africa to go do drugs. The media overnight, you saw what happened to Ice Cube. Black people all over the United States turned on Ice Cube. They called him a traitor. They called him this. They called him that. You had a multitude of people being angry at Ice Cube, making videos and saying this and saying that. And then these same people, all of these same people, all of a sudden, are all for Trump. Like I said, I don't got a dog in this race, and I've been saying that for the longest time possible, and I still stand on the square that I am directly standing on. I have no dog in this race because the government is literally screwing everybody over, but people can't really see it, so everybody is going to do the red versus blue, blue versus red, that type of thing, which is cool. Like I said, I'm the type of guy, I love console wars. So PlayStation versus Xbox, Xbox versus PlayStation. Like I said, I get it. It's cool. People want to have something that they could, really feel like they can sink their teeth in, where they can just throw their aggression out all on the table. No problem. I'm all for it. Go ahead and have at it, have fun, but don't be foolish enough to think that it actually matters in a long term. Because if you pay attention to a lot of the things that's going on all over the planet, every single facet of the government is corrupt, but the people just don't see it, except for the few that are actually out there fighting, which is in other countries that's not here. So when you look at the media that's technically getting blacked out, or you look at the media that's getting banned of people posting videos from their country where they're literally fighting with their governments because they don't like the things that are going on, yes, for a specific reason. Because they don't want a lot of that to flood over to, other places around the world. They don't want other people getting other ideas, right? But back to Ice Cube. So it's amazing to see a nice swath of the black community who disagreed with Ice Cube now voting for Trump. Like, so the video that I have repeatedly playing in the background, this was supposed to be, I guess you could say, it was a caravan, right? This was like Trump on his way through Georgia to go get his mugshot taken. And in the background, which y'all might not understand and see, the reason you see all of these black people out there, you got black people sitting up there saying like, "Free Trump, free my guy." I'm just gonna paraphrase it, right? But you got black people out there literally referring to Trump as one of them, right? Because Trump has a mugshot. And a lot of people, I guess, who are black can seemingly relate. Maybe they might have family, friends, or maybe even themselves, might have had to take a mugshot at a point in time. So because Trump has to do it, they see a little bit of themselves in him. And I'm like, that's cute. That's nice. That's great. But this is when I got to sit up there and remind people, because black people have a short memory. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but last time I checked, again, this is Trump's mugshot, right? He ain't serving on time, ain't nothing happening, right? Even though they say they got all this evidence and stuff, right? He not serving on time, right? But you had the Central Park Five, right? You had those five young black men. Let me count that. One, two, three, four, five, right? You had those five young black men that had to sit up there and serve time. Those are their mugshots, right? Those are the images that they had when they had youth. And they had to serve time for something that they didn't even do. And then you had Trump that was really voicing his opinion on the Central Park Five, right? I think people forgot about that. think people really forgot about that. Right? So from one of the articles that they got up here, they said that matter of fact, let me just put it up there. This is what was directly stated when it dealt with the Central Park Five. I mean, anybody can go back and, of course, check the information if they would like to, or what have you. But I find it interesting that you got all these black people, and like I said, I don't got no dog in this race, no dog in this race at all. But I find it interesting how it is that black people can be brought in so quick, right? Doesn't that say bring back the death penalty? And that was dealing with the Central Park Five, right? And that was signed by, what it say at the bottom, Donald J. Trump. This man wanted the death penalty back, right? And then they got a quote from Donald Trump up here, which said, Trump on the Central Park Five case. Quote, they admitted that they were guilty. The police doing the original investigation say that they were guilty. The fact that the case was settled with so much evidence against them is outrageous, and the woman, so badly injured, will never be the same. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? But yet, where are all of these black people, right? A lot of black people out there are like, yo, Trump is my guy, and Trump this, Trump that, everything. Like I said, I don't got no dog in this race. You can pick, whatever public official you want to sit up there and pick, vote for. You can side with them if you want to, but I'm just looking at this fact here, that again, so many black people seemingly forget, but I'm pretty sure that you'll have a lot of black people that'll sit up there and say, "Ah, man, you just trying to be divisive. You trying to sit up there and bring race into this, and race don't got nothing to do with this at all. Can't you see that the Georgia government is corrupted? What they trying to do to Trump? If like I said, I saw some videos out there where people were saying was like, yo, if you can't understand that the government is corrupt, then what they trying to do to Trump, then I don't know what to tell you. The government been corrupt. It shouldn't sit up there and take for a white man to sit up there and tell you that. He was the main one that sat up there and told you the government was corrupt in the first place. He was like, hey, because Hillary tried to get on him, right? When they were talking about taxes, and he sat up there and said that he'll stop using the loopholes the moment in time that you get your beneficiaries and your donors to stop using them. He was like, yeah, the system is broken, and I use the broken system in order to sit up there and do the things that I do. And so does she, and so do her friends. So if you want to sit up there and stop it, stop her friends. And Hillary didn't have nothing to say. Right? So he did sit up there and tell you that the system is broken. So it should not be a surprise to a lot of black people out here that are paying attention that there is two different Americas, like I said before, and you're staring at it. You're staring directly at it, right? The two Americas. You got Trump, who got the whole world basically against him. You got the people that were supposedly his friends and everything like that. Everybody just left. You don't really got a lot of people that are, politicians that's publicly backing Trump at this moment in time. Everybody is against him. And that's what they're going to sit up there and use in order to try to get, the votes that they need in order to do the exact same circle jerk that they've been sitting up here doing. The exact same thing, right? But again, look at Trump in his mugshot. No worse for the wear. He's not going to be in prison for like, 20 or 30 years. But then you got the Central Park Five. Those young men lost tons of opportunity. They lost tons of time. They lost tons of potential that they can never get back. The time that they had to literally waste sitting, being locked up for something that they didn't sit up there and do is madness. And now black people are literally on Twitter talking about the government and stuff is corrupt because of what's happening to Trump. But yet you've already been having black people talk about how corrupt the government is, but nobody wanted to pay attention. Why? Because it was only black people talking about it. Because it was specifically pertaining to black people. But now when people can sit up there and use a torch, aka Trump, as an example, now it's a shining example. It's like, yeah, the government is really broken. Yeah, Georgia is really this, Georgia is really that. It's like, yeah, something needs to be done. Look at what the DA is doing to Trump. But they've been doing that to black folk all along. But ain't nobody care. The conservative black people ain't really care either because they were like, oh, it don't have nothing to do with race. This is not even a race issue. If the DA or if you're black and you're getting locked up, obviously you did something to deserve. That's what everybody say. That's what pretty much everybody unanimously say. If you are black, it don't even matter if you're 6 years old. If you're black and the police came after you, they arrested you, they sought you out, you obviously deserve whatever's coming to you. That's what everybody states. And that's crazy to me. You've heard people say it no matter what the example is. It could be somebody that's 6 years old. It can be a black woman that is pregnant with a child. It can be an elderly black woman that's 67 years old. It can be an elderly black man in a wheelchair that's a veteran. It can be a man that was actually abiding by lawful orders from the police to get down on the ground and spread your hands and still inevitably end up paralyzed because they stated that, oh, he dropped something that looked like a weapon and they miscalled. But they made sure to fire several times before he hit that ground. Like I said, I haven't seen it too many times, but nobody wants to say nothing. But again, when it's somebody's favorite person, so for all the black conservatives, when it's Trump that has to sit up there and go through the same things that black people been going through and been talking about, now it's a problem. Now it's an eyesore. Now it's a glaring problem. Now it really showcases how broken the government is. Nope, it doesn't. Nope, I'm seeing the same thing I always see. Trump has a mugshot and he's not going to serve any type of time. But 5 black men who didn't even do the crime ended up doing the time. Ain't that something? Had a mugshot and everything. And he was backing up, bringing back the death penalty because of what happened to that woman. But yet they weren't the ones that did it. Ain't that something? And still to this day, he still ain't never given an apology. And I ain't never heard no black conservatives out here talk about that he needs to give an apology because they do not care. Black conservatives do not care about realistically anything that happens to black people because they're like, oh, well, y'all deserve it. Well, maybe if you act different, maybe if you talk different, maybe if you walk different, maybe if you dress different, maybe if you educated yourselves better. It's always some type of a thing in order to enable or to justify wrongdoings on black people. It's the craziest thing. A guy from Texas said, I'm convinced that the mugshot is a deep fake. Hey, it's possible. Yo, George, what is up? What is up? What is up? It's possible. Anything is possible. At this moment in time, anything is relatively possible. You are living, the best way I can sit up there and put it to people, you're living in an alternate reality at this moment in time. The stuff that you would have never thought was possible is possible and then some. Yo, Tia, what is up? What is up? That's what we're living in at this moment in time. We are literally living in an alternate reality. And I get that some people that might throw some people off, be like, oh man, well, he had me up until he started talking, that cuckoo stuff. I'm like, hey, I'm seeing a lot of stuff that I never would have thought was possible 10 years ago. That's the timeline I'm living in right now. I'm looking at stuff that I would have never thought was possible. I could not have even have fathomed. Realistically, it all started when I saw Trump get elected. I'm like, yo, originally I'm like, yo, I was a fan of this dude, and I'm looking at this dude. What was the name of that show? Um, You're Fired. What was that? It was called the something. I forgot what it was. But me and my mom, my grandmother used to always sit up there and like watch that The Apprentice. That's what it was. There was tons of black people throughout their household sitting up there watching The Apprentice. I was one of them during that time frame, and I was sitting up there like watch it religiously. Thank you, yeah. Thank you, guy from Texas. Much appreciation. That was, like I said, that was the show, right? Because you looking at it for an entertainment perspective. It was like, yo, you're fired. That was the quote. It was like during that time, Trump had black friends. Because of The Apprentice, anybody that was black loved to take a picture with Trump, wanted to be around Trump, all of that, right? Because of that aspect. Then once it started getting into the political realm, things started changing. Things started changing. People were like, I might still like the guy, I might agree with some of the things that he's saying, but for my image, I have to step back. Yeah, Omarosa was on there, yeah. And even Omarosa stepped back. And you heard her started saying some stuff about Trump as well. But like I said, people don't want to pay attention to certain things. And again, I'll sit up there and state that if people actually look back far enough throughout political careers, Trump is not the first person where there's been little things coming up here and there. You've had people mention people running for president, like they might have had like a second wife or some type of infidelities, or maybe it was like an estranged kid. Like when you're running for president, the powers that be, especially if you're not a part of like the giant circle, the powers that be will make sure to hmm, the powers that be will make sure to get you directly out the room because you're not the person that's supposed to be on the stage, right? Everybody else is playing their role. Everybody else that's supposed to be there is supposed to be there. Your lineage based and everything like that, you're supposed to be a part of the circle. You're supposed to be in there, right? Then you have some people that come up out of nowhere where they can't even explain how they got here, and everybody in the room is just looking around like, "Yo, you ain't even supposed to be here right now." It's like, "Yo, we got to get this man directly up out of here," right? So you got, sometimes you'll have some things that'll throw a wrench directly into the system, right? And you can't really say if it's going to be for better or for worse because again, the system is corrupt. As I stated to people before, it don't matter what president that is picked. The point of the matter is that they don't have the control that we were taught that presidents have. It's the checks and balances that actually have the real control, that can actually put him in check, that can tell him specifically what to do. And then there's people even higher than that that tells everybody else what to do. The guy from Texas said the White House staff changed the locks on Omarosa. I believe it. I believe it. I 100% believe it. And the funniest thing is, and I agree with a lot of other people, and I've stated this, myself as well, that when we look back at the 8 years, this is why I say I don't really have a dog in this race. And I voted during that time too, when I was during that time along with my friends. If you go back during the time of the Obama administration, it was a feel good era, right? Everything was it was a cool out of all of the eras that you could basically look at. when it dealt with a specific group of people, those 8 years were a part of an era, of a cool era of the White House, of which never happened before, and that more than likely will never happen again. But again, still from that, the black community did not receive anything from it at all. Everybody else, we sat up there and watched while we were sitting up there in the feel good mood. We sat up there and watched everybody else climb the charts, get laws and rules and regulations. We saw other people get, acknowledged and talked about, and they were put in the headlines, and then black people were just there. It's like, all right, we had, some people directly at the White House. Everything was, cool. Things were like fashionable and different things of that nature. But at the end of the day, we didn't get nothing. Ain't nothing take place. And to be 100% honest, I'm not sure if people can actually list a president that has legitimately done anything for the black community as much as they've done for other communities directly out here. Now, again, some people are going to sit up there and say, well, it's not the president's job to specifically do one thing for one specific group. You have to sit up there and be the voice and the body for everybody, right? And I'm going to go back and point towards the happy community and how it is that they were able to get laws, rules, and regulations. How it is that in celebration of them, the White House had colors. You didn't see a red, black, and gold theme on the White House when it was time to celebrate black people, right? When it was time to sit up there and give them that smile and give them that acknowledgement. Nah, that wasn't the thing. For the Asian community, they had what show up to the White House. They had K-pop singers. They had like actors. They had everything, and they ended up getting what? Laws passed, regulations passed, bills passed. So when it dealt with black people, what do we really get? What do we got so far? We got the Crown Act, right? Can't discriminate against, the hair, natural. And we have an anti-hangman type of bill or law. Pretty much at this moment in time, that's the most that I can actually list for you. That's the most. Some people might sit up here and say, well, um, let's look at the employment rates. Let's look at the housing. Let's look at how much money has been going towards black people and yada yada yada. And I'm like, that's cool, that's cute, but that's not anything that's a long term type of deal. That's not a long term type of situation when it deals with the black community and the plight that the black community are currently in at this moment in time, especially when it deals with housing, especially when it deals with college. Like everybody found out what was up with affirmative action. They were like, the matter of fact, let me just pull that up. Who was benefiting from affirmative action? Right? This was the article from Time. Right? So let me just pull that up real quick. Because like I said, I know people got a short-term memory. Because after this basically took place, it was like people just seemingly forgot. Right? I got to jog people's memory. Uh, out here. Affirmative action has helped white women more than anyone. So, like I said, this is why you don't really hear people. Yo, what's up, Dark Titan? What's up? This is why you don't really hear people talking about affirmative action no more, right? Because As I told y'all before, in all of these are chess moves. In order for them to get the spots and the squares that they want, they have to sit up there and sacrifice pieces, even if that means their own pieces. And you don't really sit up there and hear white women screaming and crying about this online. The only thing that they were crying about was Roe v. Wade. That's the only thing that they were crying about. That's the only thing that they were really legitimately like, yeah, we're about to go out here and protest. We're about to be standing outside naked. We're going to be sitting up there screaming our heads off. We're going to be doing this at concerts. We're going to be in your face about this problem because you're trying to control us. You're trying to control our bodies, right? That's what white women were saying. That's what they were doing all over, right? Running ads, commercials, everything. But when did you see white women online having that exact same energy when it came to affirmative action? You didn't. In Time Magazine, I just want to sit up there and remind people, Time Magazine is owned by the majority in the United States. So this is them writing an article about themselves. This isn't black people writing this article, right? This is them, the people who own the magazine, the people who run all of this. And all of that time that you have people basically running their mouths and talking online like, oh, affirmative action is unfair because it unfairly helps, black people because they don't deserve to be there. And, if you don't really got the grades, then you shouldn't sit up there and get a leg up over everybody else. I know umpteen people in my family who deserve to sit up there and have those spots and be there and yada, yada, yada. Right? That's what they were saying. And then as soon as they were able to get this to happen, affirmative action is, in a sense, pretty much gone, deceased. And you don't hear white women sitting up there crying or complaining. You don't hear them saying nothing. Who do you sit up there and hear having a problem with it? It's the black community. Because there were certain things that were in place that helped us just a little bit. Proof of which, by the title of the Time Magazine article, affirmative action has helped white women more than anybody else. And that is a fact. That is a fact. But like I said before, it was a chess move at the end of the day. In order to sit up there and take the little bit of something that was a little bit of a benefit to black people and to everybody else, they had to sit up there and take it away from their own in order to sit up there and start moving forward. And like I said, you're going to start to see more and more times when it deals with the news that they're sacrificing more and more pieces for the larger gain. And ain't nobody paying attention. Nobody paying attention. Let me see if I can go back to let's see if I can go back to this tracker real quick. Uh, see if I can pull up that fire map here. I don't think I can probably pull up the same fire map. Let me see. Is this the one? This might be a different one. See if we can zoom out. Now, is this today? Let me see. What's the date on this here before I put this up? See if I can actually get a date. They don't got a date for me to go with here. No, they do not. I'm going to see if I can actually pull up the previous map that I have. Okay, that's the one from today. There we go. All right, okay. So we're going to go back to the same map here. Let me give y'all that quick window. Or will it do tab? It'll probably do Windows. Cool. right? So this is what we're looking at here, right? Like I said before, everything is a chess move. If you don't get off this chair, get off the chair. You want to come roll up here now when I'm doing the live stream? All right. So this is what we're looking at right now. Get down. So like I said before, everything is a chess move, right? So they're willing to sit up there and burn people. And I want to note to people, y'all can clearly see my mouse moving. We are on, let me see what we're on, the 26th right now. So let's just go through this just a little bit. I wonder if the fire in what's the name is actually being counted at this moment in time. Because they did just recently have a fire. I gotta put that back up. Let me see. Hold on. Well, that is not the firm's map. Let me just redo this. Hold on. Let me get you. The cat kind of threw me off. My apologies. There we go. That's what we're looking at right now. Right? So again, anybody can go to firms US/Canada and you'll get the same exact map that I'm looking at this moment in time. So you can clearly see the dates, 25th and 26th. We just basically got fire pretty much everywhere at this moment in time. You better not try to jump on this desk. I need you to go play. But yeah, like I said, they will easily sacrifice pieces in order to get the position. Gotta pick you up. All right. In order to get the position that they want, they're willing to literally burn you out of house and home in order to do this. Yo, DSB, what is up? What is up? What is up? Said Joe Biden is a joke. Yo, let me tell you, the whole government is a joke. The whole government, for me, the whole government is a joke. Like, there's nothing happening how it should be happening. Again, the government is supposed to work for the people, not for itself. But here we are. You got government officials over in Hawaii telling the native Hawaiians to get off of social media. Don't listen to people on TikTok. Don't listen to social media influencers. They're going to mislead you. They're going to tell you the wrong information and everything like that. Like I said, these are government officials. These are the same officials that were not there when the fires broke out in Hawaii. They were elsewhere. You don't hear nothing about their families, potentially being in harm's way or anything like you don't hear none of that because everybody was supernaturally away during that time, magically, which is crazy to me. And then you got FEMA, and then you got the Red Cross over there not allowing the donations to go directly to the people that are coming from the people. You got a government official that literally on national TV stated that he was happy at the fact that he did not sound the alarms, even though those alarms are not just meant for tsunamis, that those can also be used in order to warn people of wildfires. Because he was like, well, if I would have sounded the alarms, then people would have ran into the fires and Malca, and I didn't want people to do that. And then you also had the police that rounded up everybody and corralled them into one area, leading them into a trap. And then it was stated that the cops said that, hey, well, we were given orders to block off this road, the one main road that people needed in order to escape that situation and survive and to be able to tell the tale. Weren't even able to do that. So, like I said before, people gotta pay attention to everything that is specifically taking place in the United States. Again, just because it's not happening to you, just because it's not happening to your people, does not mean that it's not going to sit up there and happen. Again, look at all the fires that are taking place, right? You see the fires that are taking place up there in Canada. You see it in Alaska, right? Hawaii. What is wrong with you right now? Wait. Like I said, this is ridiculous. This is 100% ridiculous. And people need to pay attention. People need to pay attention. Like this is not a game. This is not a game. Like I said, and we're not even, in a sense directly close to 2030 and in 2035 yet. And that's when the tech change is going to really start happening. Like I said, and people can't even get it together on this. People can't even get on the same page when it comes to this. People are still talking about red versus blue, blue versus red, all this other type of stuff. When you got people making major moves directly in tech that can very easily sway generations, and people ain't paying attention. Like I said, you already got what was it, Montana here banning TikTok statewide. That's a form of censorship. That's a form of control by way of the government that they implemented because they feel that they're doing what is best for the people. And they're not. Because whatever they're not allowing the people to use, they're more than likely still using it or using something else that's even worse. Like I said, who watches The Watchmen? What normal, average, everyday person is monitoring any of those people in Montana to sit up there and see what apps are they using? Who are they talking to? Who are they speaking to? What phones are they using? Like I said, you got a lot of public officials right now selling out the people for trinkets, for a little bit of safety. And you got people out here worried over nonsense, over dumb stuff. Like I said, this is crazy. This is crazy, but I completely understand due to the fact that we're living in technically a goldfish generation, basically meaning that everybody consumes their information by way of shorts, not long form content, not by really doing any type of research or just reading even a simple article that might be about like 2 minutes because too many people's attention span is about less than 20 seconds, and it was planned, it was devised to be that way, literally, because pretty soon, just like how everybody pretty much has a short attention span, that's how they're going to really start doing the news. They're not even going to give you full context of like stories. They're going to just start giving you sound bites, little bits of a story, little videos, because they know that people aren't going to actually do the necessary research to actually go search up an article, which means that real journalism is already dead. That's already gone. But that means that they don't have to do any type of journalism. They can literally give you any type of story. And the news organizations right now literally have the technology to do deep fakes in order to just make a story, to just make a video and just write something about it and just put it up there. And everybody's going to eat it up and treat it like it's fact because they're not going to have other sources to really go by to say that, oh, this source said that this didn't happen. They're not going to have anybody to corroborate that or to go against it because pretty much 99.9% of all of the media, which is owned by literally a few companies, they're in cahoots. Like I said, people not even paying attention. Like, what were the main companies that we got up out here? We got Vanguard and BlackRock, who pretty much own the majority of a lot of the stuff out here, which is crazy. Craziest stuff. What was it? I'm not a fan of Trump by any means, but he was right when he said that the media is the enemy of the people. No, I like I said, I'm not disagreeing with that, but I'm also not going to, you know, full fledged, like deep dive. Again, I can agree with people I disagree with. I can easily do that. Some of the wrongest people out here can say some of the rightest things at the right time, or at least when you want to hear it, when you're looking for it, when you're searching for it, and that's the main thing. Like we got a lot of people out here saying the wrong things, but we listen to it because we drown out everything else, and the wrong things are more entertaining than anything else. So then we'll end up inevitably having somebody that's wrong, but they'll say the right things at the time that we need to sit up there and hear it. And that's when they sit up there and get you. Like I said, before I knew if if way back when during the era of the apprentice, if I would have understood that Trump did that to 5 young black men during the time, right? If I would have understood that he did this, my outlook on him back then it would not been as favorable. Like I said, I was hyped when Trump was supposed to supposedly buy the WWF during the time, or the WWE. When you have Vince McMahon, the billionaire versus the billionaire, we have Vince McMahon going against Trump. I thought that was dope. I thought it was dope. A lot of people did during that time. But like I said, things are, seem, funny and nice and great when you don't know history. When you don't know any of those things, everything seems great. Everything seems great. Wait, that guy from Texas said Disney? Wait, Disney. Oh, you talking about Disney owning stuff? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the main ones, when you start looking up certain things out here, you'll start seeing Vanguard and you'll start seeing BlackRock. The main reasons that I know about them, besides the videos that some people have done, I know about them due to the fact that I've watched them buy up a lot of stuff when it deals with cryptocurrency. And I'm like, that's pretty interesting. I'm like, so you got governments against crypto. You got everybody else saying that crypto is negative, crypto is bad, crypto is this. And then they're sitting up there putting hundreds of millions of dollars just like buying up like crypto in these large portfolios. I'm like, that don't make any sense to me. I'm like, yo, if crypto is supposed to go the way of the dinosaurs, if it's supposed to die, if it's just a flash in the pan, like a lot of people said, aka Warren Buffett, then groups as powerful as like Vanguard and BlackRock would not be investing in buying up a whole bunch. And the main thing I'm saying to people is like, if at a moment in time you got people sitting up there buying up stuff, they're doing it because something is about to take place and something is about to happen. This is why I told people to sit up there and pay attention. Again, this is not me trying to sit up there and get people into cryptocurrency. I'm just sitting up there telling people to follow the money. That's all I'm sitting up there saying. That's all I'm sitting up there saying. Pay attention to how a lot of these billionaire or trillionaire companies are moving hundreds of millions of dollars and where they're sitting up there placing it. Because remember, it used to be one point in time that a lot of these companies, they'll be buying up a lot of housing. They'll be buying up a lot of, apartments and all these other types of things. But we've been seeing housing fall down. You've been seeing an increase in housing cost thousands of dollars to rent. Like some people got 1,200, $1,300, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 rent for a box. And now you got a lot of people abandoning those apartments because it's like, yo, I ain't about to be paying this. I can't sit up there and even afford this no more. Like I said, rent is some is the taking it from that old man when he said it. Rent is too damn high, and it is. Everything is increasing while everybody's pay is pretty much staying the same. But the problem with that is when you sit up there and start complaining about that, you have the right to sit up there and complain. You got other people to be like, well, if you would have just went to college and got an education and did this, that, and the third, then you wouldn't be complaining about how much money it is that yo, you got people again. You got people that have degrees. Don't matter if it's a bachelor's, a master's, whatever it is, a doctor. Don't matter what it is. You had these people at one time or another, maybe even still to this day, flipping burgers. So you're not going to sit up here and tell me that, yo, just going to college and putting myself in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt is going to sit up there and fix the problem when the president of the United States, who was Barack Obama, had just got done with the debt that he had from college. And he was the president at the time. He was the president. Just think about that. The president of the United States had college debt. What? That's insane. That shouldn't, dude. That shouldn't even. That shouldn't even. You shouldn't even be able to make that into a statement. The president of the United States had college debt and had just got done with it. What? So if the president of the United States was struggling with college debt, what does that mean for everybody else that went through college? 5, 7, 10 years. And then they couldn't sit up there and get a job in their direct field or get the pay that they expect or that they want. People are like, well, everything don't come easy. You got to sit up there and work for it. Diamonds are, the hardest thing to get, but they're so beautiful. Yo, diamonds used to be a dime a dozen. Let me just let people in on a little tip. The system that is in place tricked people into making everybody think that diamonds were rare. And they weren't. And they are not. Now, certain colors of diamonds, yes, that is true because you need certain minerals and you need certain conditions in order to make certain types of colors. But even with that, you got man-made diamonds. And the craziest part about human beings is that they're like, I'd rather get the real thing. Who wants a man-made diamond? It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. And the most beautiful part about a man-made diamond is that I think it should be like half the price. If I remember correctly. You're not even paying full price for something that looks the exact same. But people are like, man, no, I need those real diamonds. All right, go ahead. You still going to get killed just the same for them. You still going to die just the same for them. People going to see you a target just the same for them because they both shine when the sunlight is out. Like I said, it's crazy. It is 1,000% crazy, like the world that we live in at this moment in time, where you got people literally chasing ghosts. You got people trying to add up to what it is that rappers are doing, and you got rappers trying to live up to what other rappers are doing, and then you got those rappers trying to live up to what millionaires and billionaires are doing, and then you got broke people trying to live up to what millionaires and billionaires are doing and trying to spend money the exact same way, knowing that your money don't even move or grow like that. It's the craziest thing. Everybody money out here looking quite funny, but yet people trying to live in a fantasy world and think that that's okay to live a lie. That's crazy. That's 1,000% crazy. Like I said, at this moment in time, everything is fake. Every single thing is fake. Like I said, at the end of the day, what was it? You said lab grown. That guy from Texas said I haven't even started paying off my college debt. I believe it. I believe it. I 1000% believe it. Solo said lab grown are less than a fraction of the price of real ones. I man, yo, if ever a point in time I had to sit up there and actually get diamonds, I am going to sit up there and go with man-made diamonds. I don't care. I do not. I do not care. I do not care. Like it don't even matter. It don't even matter. We got John putting in the scriptures out there for anybody who wants to read. Uh Hold said black people don't forget we making chess moves. Trump will definitely get order at the border. Illegals will be sent back home. Look here, I'll tell you this. Let me let me uh let me go back to something that somebody has stated before. And this was a get your ass down. This is let me see if I can actually find it. Did I okay. So this is a theory that somebody said, right? Somebody online, and again, you can take this with a grain of salt, but it's a very interesting theory, right? They stated that they're, in a sense, burning a lot of this stuff up because the main people in power are planning to like move, have another base of operations, right? And they're basically, burning a lot of the stuff up that we are, clearly able to see. And they're going to, in a sense, try to use whatever that they have to keep us basically within borders. So pretty much nothing can come, in or out without, their consent, without their say so, right? It will be very easy for them to control something. Like if you can easily just see the ground floor, right? There's no forest there, there's no grass there, there's no type of vegetation. You can easily see if somebody's going to move something, right? If somebody's trying to play something, if somebody's trying to leave, or if somebody's trying to come in, right? So if you start going all over these coastal areas and hitting them with a variety of different things, it is what it is, right? And again, that was just a theory that somebody basically had, right? Like I said, take it with a grain of salt. The guy from Texas said, "I believe the Canary Diamond is the most expensive. That should be yellow diamonds. I mean, they got other ones too. You got pink, blue, you got black. Technically, diamonds at this moment in time are like kryptonite. Diamonds, color wise, are pretty much like kryptonite. It's any color you can think of in a Crayola box, you got that type of color directly out there. Uh, what we're gonna do here, sir, is might have to see if I can fix something real quick. Like I said, I don't mind people sitting up there putting stuff directly in chat, but spamming, that is not the wave. It's not the wave there. I'm just gonna give you that high warning there. It's like, yo, you might wanna calm down on the spamming there. Let me see. Okay, so that's on. Okay, so you're on the other channel. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, like I said, back to the first one that I brought up to you guys because we got quite a few people here. I want to know, how do you guys feel um, about the first image that I actually put up there for you guys? I want to know how you guys feel about this. I guess somebody must have got him earlier. Oh, we got Zaire. Yo, what's up, Zaire? So, did you know that the pink sauce girl had a a deleted rant video about how she didn't care about the people's health. Hey, now let me sit up there and tell you. Like I said, I don't know what that woman going through, and I don't know who is sitting up there, who her management team is, or whatever it is. But yeah, whatever bag she did have, she fumbled that completely. Like the girl got a GoFundMe up and everything. Like it is not looking solid for her at all. I don't know how you lose all of that money after you know having your sauce on store shelves and different things of that nature. I don't know what's happening. Yo, welcome down. What is up? What is up? What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. But yeah, I don't know. Huh? That's a little bit weird. That's a different one there, huh? Let me see. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Welcome down. Titan said she don't have one. She's all by herself. Yo, that like I said, that's crazy. Like I said, I saw some of her live streams like earlier on. I think that was like during the pandemic, and it was looking kind of crazy. Then you had the deleted broadcast that was on. I think what was that dude's name? Kareem Show or something like that. The black dude who got the talk show. And then you had the other stuff with the pink sauce where she was like sending it and she, wasn't technically getting sent properly. It was crazy. Wait, you said she changed her recipe and the pink sauce is now orange? Y'all know it's like I said. She had something. All she had to do was like fine tune it, get the packaging, have everything correct. Everything was good. Would have been cool. Would have been cool. Because, the funniest thing is a lot of people want to bring up the fact that she had the packages sitting up there. What are they like blowing up? I think they were like blowing up or something like that. And I'm like, and people were sitting up there like clowning her for that. But I'm like, you be having like too many people be catching hepatitis A like frequently. Like I'm not even joking with y'all. Matter of fact, let me bring this little article up real quick. Let me see if I can get that window up real quick. Let me swap that over. Like this real this is 13 days just in case anybody is into Panda Express. This is why I would sit up there and give y'all some of those stories. Like I said, this is not me making up anything. This is 13 days ago. 13 days ago. What does it say? Health officials warn of possible hepatitis A exposure at Panda Express. So you had a lot of people that were sitting up there like trying to clown this girl and her sauce because of how it was packaged and all this other type of stuff. But it's like everybody still goes out to eat and potentially getting exposed to like hepatitis A. Like, excuse me? I need to know where the priorities and stuff at. Like what's good out here? Because to me that's crazy. Like that's 1,000% crazy to me. Make sure it just matches like the title, and it didn't. Now I wanna. There we go. I kind of messed up for a bit, but yeah, like I said, like this is crazy. It's like people are really trying to sit up there and clown that girl, and yet you're risking your health every single time you go out there and eat because this is what be happening. Welcome down said at the second job, finally caught alive. Hey, much love, respect, and appreciation. You know, see you out there working hard. You got that night shift. I know those days. I know those days. I'm right there with you. Solo said it was due to swelling from the heat. Titan said, but she isn't that smart. Convening. Yep. Yeah, it's like, yo, that's like I said, that's crazy. Like, yo, stuff like this is, and I just want everybody to know that's here. Hepatitis A is a common occurrence at a lot of these fast food establishments. Y'all just don't hear about it because they don't like public. Like, when I mean to tell y'all that this is common, like it is lit. It is common all across the United States. It's like almost like every month you got one of these outbreaks happening, and that's the craziest thing. Like, again, things like this should not even be happening at all. It just shouldn't. Recommend anyone who dined at the restaurant between July 22nd and August 4th receive a hepatitis A vaccination, with the exception of those who have previously completed the vaccination series or who have had a past infection. Hepatitis A is a liver infection that is considered to be highly contagious and can spread from person to person through fecal oral route or by eating contaminated food or drink contaminated water. Symptoms include fever, fatigue, nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, dark colored urine, jaundice, and they can vary from mild to severe. So, again, this is not a game. Like I said, this is why y'all would sit up there and see me, you know, pull out those STD videos and trying to, inform people and let people know some of the things that be going around in the food. Because again, we don't be knowing what we eat. And then on top of that, we don't know the people who are specifically preparing our foods. All to end up to have something like this happen, which is crazy. That's 1,000% crazy. Matter of fact, let me go back real quick. Let me see if I can pull up another story for you. Because that was they stated that one was like 13 days ago. Ooh, they talking about a 1938 hepatitis outbreak. That's crazy. Let me see. Guess that a Montreal hostel may have been exposed to hepatitis A, and that's in Canada. 28 days ago, Louisiana Department of Health officials say hepatitis A vaccines are required for K through 12 students for the new school year. Uh, that's crazy. That is 1,000% crazy. Let's see if we can get outbreak. Like, all right, let me just highlight this one real quick. Like stuff like this, like that's crazy. Hepatitis A outbreak related to U.S. frozen strawberries, and now you got Canada trying to do a probe directly on this. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency is looking into whether frozen organic strawberries that have been linked to a hepatitis A outbreak in the United States were also sold in Canada. Since mid March, several brands of frozen organic strawberries have been recalled across the United States over concern of hepatitis A infection. The strawberries in question were imported by a common supplier from certain farms located in Baja California. The affected products were pulled nationwide from big retailer chains such as Costco and Trader Joe's. So, are they going to say what brand it was? And then last year, you had 10 lab confirmed cases of hepatitis A illness involving Fresh Campo brand fresh organic strawberries were reported in two Canadian provinces, Alberta and Saskatchewan. And the outbreak, four people required hospitalization, but there were no deaths. Right, the virus, raw fruits and vegetables, as well as raw uncooked shellfish and common source of hepatitis A. All right, symptoms: wash your fruits, water, avoid soggy Cuban drinks, eat only fresh cooked, avoid, non-peelable raw fruit. I like how they didn't sit up there and say what the brand was though, because they said last year, right, and that was involving the fresh Campo, but they didn't say specifically. Um, Let me see, maybe I might have. Right, they said the products were pulled from big retailers such as Costco and Trader Joe's. Huh. I guess it might have been like a no name type of brand, but you know, because I was gonna try to give y'all like a warning on what brand of strawberries it was, but they didn't really sit up there and say. So excellent reporting on that one. I can't even give a proper warning on that. Like that's crazy. That's one of the main reasons I even put it directly up there, just to be able to give people warnings, just in case they might have them in the freezer, because they said they sell it at Costco and Trader Joe's. You know, Dark said, I haven't been to a Panda Express since the last decade. Yeah, I haven't been to a Panda Express in a while. Like, yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a long, long time. That guy from Texas said a lot of these restaurant workers don't wash their hands often. Yep, that is facts. Zaire said, the plainest Jane. YouTube video. It's called. I said, oh, okay. Okay. Oh, okay. So you say you found out about it on Planet Jane. Yeah, yeah, yeah. She does good work. Good work. Good work. She does great, great work. But yeah, that's crazy. Like I said, there's a multitude of outbreaks that take place. Let me see if I might be able to find another one here. It's just about to be Outbreak Central. 'Cause like I said, they're not gonna sit up there and tell you. Let's see, um, yep, I covered the Listeria outbreak. Um, I think I should have covered the Salmonella outbreak. So they got an article up here that states that the matter of fact, let me see, let me just scroll down to make sure everything is all right. Listeria Salmonella. All right. So let me just post that up here to you so you guys can see what I'm looking at here. Right. So if you don't get off the desk, hey Miss Williams, what is up? What is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. What is going on? What is going on? You said how long did she have food leftovers left out? They didn't state any of that. They just sat up there and said that there was some listeria. I mean, not listeria. I'm sorry. There was a hepatitis A outbreak, and that was due to some strawberries, and that Canada was going to do a probe, and that the brand of strawberries were pulled directly from Costco and Trader Joe's. But a lot of the hepatitis A outbreaks that happen in restaurants, these are people that are not washing properly. Like you're supposed to, like when working with food and fruits and different things, you're supposed to properly wash your hands. Again, take it for somebody that worked in the market. A lot of people who handle your products do not wash their hands properly, and a lot of those things are not really enforced up until a customer actually gets hurt. And I can tell you that these businesses don't care up until the customers get hurt. These markets do not care up until the customer gets hurt. These restaurants don't care up until the customer gets hurt. If ain't no customers getting hurt, they don't care if people ain't washing their hands. If people are doing number two and then walking out and doing whatnot, they don't care. I can tell you. So we got these right here. You got a listeria outbreak linked to restaurant milkshakes. That's the one I covered a few days ago. This is the one I was talking about earlier, where they said the salmonella outbreak linked to ShopRite ground beef is declared over by the CDC. I'm not really going to declare that as over because, again, some people freeze their meat and different things of that nature. Um, then you got the norovirus outbreak that sickened more than 300 people, linked to an ill food handler at a restaurant. Right, and that was in Illinois, and they said that it made about three more than 300 people sick, and that was due to a food handler. Again, you got people not properly washing their hands, but yet they're handling everybody's food at these restaurants because the hand care, the hand washing is not properly enforced. And I'm going to tell y'all something. The only way that this stuff is going to be enforced is if you guys specifically go to these restaurants, y'all go to these markets, and you guys really sit up there and keep these establishments on their toes. If not, they're not going to do it. I can tell you. Because I can't tell, like, more than just customers walking out and not washing their hands. And of course, customers. Let me tell y'all something. Working at some of these places, like, you will literally see some people. If there's like an open like soup area, you will literally have some elderly people grabbing the soup spoons, and instead of buying soup, just walking up in there, grabbing a soup spoon, taking a sip, and putting it back in there. Like I said, this is how a lot of pandemics and stuff just so happen to spread because of stuff like that. But again, moreover, it spreads more so due to the workers, due to the people that are handling your food, due to the people that are handling our food, right? We just don't know it up until, things are said and done. Tia said, I will use vinegar, water in my fruits and veggies. Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I'm glad you brought up. Wait. Miss Williams said, I can't stand these 1/4 of new stores. Yeah, that's facts. That is 1,000% facts. Because like I said, sometimes they don't give you like the full information that you're actually looking for or that you need in order to give out the proper information, right? Again, if anybody has turtles, you got turtle salmonella outbreak. CDC warns that pets may be responsible, as 11 states report cases, right? So again, if your kids got turtles, if y'all like turtles, be very, very careful. Be very careful. UA student react to a NWA E. coli outbreak. Northwest Arkansas faces an outbreak of E. coli cases. Huh? Really? Okay, that must be India. 23 hours ago, ongoing bird flu outbreak make Finnish authorities to call animals. So that's over. That's over there. Huh? Animal disease threat to food security. Okay, yeah. So that was in Finland. So Finland had to take out 120K birds due to a flu outbreak, bird flu outbreak. Uh, that's crazy. That is crazy. But like I said, this is why I happen to do these live streams. So sometimes you guys might bring up some stuff, and I'm like, yo, let me bring this up. Let me directly talk about this. I'm glad y'all brought this up. So again, this is why I'm happy to do live streams because stuff like this happens, where I can bring up certain things and we can go over this. Hey, we got Tippy in the building. Tippy says, "Hi, I'm here. I might doze off. You always doze off, Tippy. That's the norm." Tippy is pretty much asleep at this moment in time. She's talking her to sleep at this moment in time. That's all it is, talking her to sleep. There was a, if you don't move, Sitting up here. Don't know what you're doing. Wait a minute. What? You got this old woman cutting hair, and they're trying to say that she invented the fade. Nah, coach, we ain't doing that. Nah. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. I'm not even about to even get into that. I'm not even about to do it. Not even about to do. I'm about to see if I got this video up here. There was a woman. I'm not sure if you guys might have seen it. There was a woman that was on social media, and she was talking about the fact that she was washing her chicken, and she washed it with like vinegar or whatnot. She vinegar lemon, whichever people decide to use, and she did that, and supernaturally you can clearly see that the chicken ain't weird, ain't real. Let me see if I can find that video. I'm really trying to find that for y'all real quick. No food at the Las Vegas Walmart in the freezer section. What happened to all that food? That looked crazy. It looked like they had to clean and throw all that food. I don't know what happened there. Tell me why Walmart in a small town here in Tennessee just added curbside pickup. I mean, hey, anything is possible. Like I said, just tell people to just pay a chicken. I'm sorry, to say a chicken. Pay attention. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can really find this chicken for you guys, and I'm having a hard time actually finding this. I wonder if I had that on. What's the name? Let me see. Well, hopefully, everybody here that's waiting. Let me see. Okay, so I got you. Let me do that. Took a little bit of looking, but I found. I'm about to put it up so y'all can hear it. Give me a quick second. Just gotta grab this real quick. Like I said, and I did a video some time ago about the food in Walmart, and it had to do with the fish. And I was sitting up there telling people don't buy that fish. That fish is real fake. Looking quite shaky there. Quite shaky. So let me put this up so y'all can hear this. Let me see, video file.
Walmart lab meat chicken.
I'm over here trying to eat healthy, and I bought chicken breast to make chicken, grilled chicken for my salad for the week. And I usually clean my chicken with vinegar, right, to get the salmonella and all the bullshit out. So I just washed the vinegar off, and let me show you what the fuck kind of chicken Walmart is selling. Look what the fuck the vinegar did. It opened up the fake chicken. This is that science lab made meat. Look at this shit. It's like stringy. You could tell like they strung it together and put it. This is raw. This is not even cooked. The vinegar opened it up this way. This is disgusting. I will never buy this shit again.
Right? Let me see if I can just look at that. At first, oh, you said I sound congested? Nah, that just normally happens due to the fact of like temperature change. But I'm good though. I'm good. Tia said, "Is she trying to play with the mouse?" No, just sitting up here being annoying, trying to jump directly in my lap as soon as I'm doing a live stream, even though I got a bed directly there on the couch. Comfortable bed right there on the couch. Doing pretty good. Cat's doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I mean, well, as good as can be, dealing with YouTube and such. Welcome said, shaking my head. They want to take the fade away from us too now. We can't have nothing. Yeah, that's bars. Can't have nothing. Cannot have nothing. Let me see. Correlations. Yeah. But yeah, I'm good though. I am healthy just due to the fact of the air conditioning being on, temperature change. Because usually I'm pretty much good. Um, but yeah, this is wait, were y'all able to hear that video? I forgot to ask that question because I literally left it directly on this image. But again, this is just a warning to everybody directly out there. If you happen to buy things from Walmart, don't buy the meat, don't buy the fish. Don't do that to yourself. Do not do that to yourself. Do not do that to yourself. Make sure you get your products, your if you eat beef or whatever it is, make sure you get that directly from an actual market. Don't get that from Walmart. Trust me, I sat up there and bought some BS, quote unquote. It was supposed to be salmon. Yo, I tried to fry that up. It was like carpet. I was outdone. I was outdone. I was outdone. Like that, it was not even edible. You would not even be able to feed that to an animal. Like they would probably run away from that. Like that's crazy. Like that looks insane. That literally looks insane. Like I literally thought when she showed this, I thought it was just a string of parasites. I thought that's what that was. But this is that I don't even know if this is even lab grown. I don't even know specifically what that is, but it looks crazy. So again, if you got Walmart meat, please don't eat that. Please don't eat it. Like I said, it ain't like I got the money to replace anything that you bought grocery wise like that. But please don't eat it. If you care about your health and the safety of your family and your loved ones, please don't eat that. Do not eat the chicken. Don't eat the fish. Don't eat the beef. Don't do none of that. Like Miss Williams said, you might want to start going for canned items. That'll be your best bet. And again, if you happen to have an actual market, like maybe you might know an actual butcher somewhere, right? A meat supplier, maybe a place that does halal. Like it don't matter where it is. Don't do it at Walmart. And this is why I was telling people before. The problem with Walmart is that when Walmart start coming into town, smaller markets and mom and pop markets start closing up because they basically suck up all of the money. All of the people, all the customers are like, I ain't going to this mom and pop. I'm about to sit up there and go get the happy face deal. I'm going to Walmart to sit up there and get my food, to get my clothes. Walmart is an all-in-one. Why would I sit up there and go to the normal market when I can get my groceries and I can go shopping for the kids because, the school year is about to start. And then a moment in time, like if you do your research and start looking at a lot of these areas where Walmart is shutting down, multiple Walmarts, now you got a problem where you're going to have a barren area that doesn't have markets. Yo, Christopher Jones, what is up? What is up? What is up? Said these demons are poisoning the food. Yeah, you got radiated milk, you got lab grown meat. It's all bad. Like I said, that Walmart fish, man, that was something else. Another guy up here, he has showcased the fish that he bought. and it looked like a sponge. Like it was looking crazy. I'm like, yo, how do you sit up there and actually wring out fish? Like he wet the fish, showed you what it looked like, put it in his hand, squeezed the water out of it, showed you what it looked like, and then he put it back in the water and it returned back to. I ain't never seen no type of fish. If for actual fish, if you were to do that to fish, it would be mushed apart. Wherever the meat could sit up there, it's mushed apart in between like your fist. Like you're not going to put that in water and fix it. There was also a problem as well. Let me see if I can highlight that one for you guys too. Let me see. Let me see. Because we got some more fake stuff too. So I have to go to news stories here. Let me see, where did it go here? Let me see. Because they had fake chicken eggs as well. Let me see if I can find the story here. KFC. Fake Apple products. That is crazy. And I had that story too. Huh. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can actually. Wait a minute. Word? And this is from the Washington Examiner. The story of a Chinese linked biolab discovered operating illegally in California may be worse than you think. Oh, that's crazy. This was a story from, y'all can happen to like look it up. August 4th, 2023, by the Washington Examiner. They said that an illegal Chinese biolab in California is worse than you think. The story of a Chinese linked biolab discovered operating illegally in California may be worse than you think, especially when you consider China's brazen activities on American soil and the country's role in the pandemic. The lab was only discovered because of inspectors noticed a garden hose hooked up to a warehouse. It took 76 days and 14 different agencies to inspect and clean up the facility from April to July earlier this year. Huh. The lab and the samples belong to Universal, what is it, Meditech, a company that was taken over by prestigious biotech, one of its creditors. According to NBC News officials, quote, we're unable to get any California based address for either company except for the previous Fresno location from the UMI had been evicted. And that's according to court documents. The only address given to officials were empty offices or unverified Chinese addresses. That's crazy. That is crazy. Yo, it's just insane to the point how you can have things like this going on in America, and it's like nobody's really talking about that. Nobody finds that as like an issue or a problem. Let me see. Canned fruit, soup, eating healthy is hard, but I guess we got to do our best we can. While the rich have all the superfoods, the world is not fair. I wish I could do shit. Ah, Tippy is funny. Tippy is funny. So let me put this other one up here for y'all. This is something else I wanted to mention before. How quick people turn on their own. Let me see. Right. So if people don't know who the guy is that they're talking about, right? The the orange haired guy that you hear see right there is Oliver Anthony, right? His song is actually a nice song, right? Richmond, north of Richmond. It's a very, if you haven't heard the song, it is a very nice song. And it's a song, it's a generalized type song. When you just so happen to hear the song, it will actually speak to you and what it is that you are, going through as a person, as a individual, right? And that was the main thing. I'm like, yo, this song is actually, like kind of dope. And the funniest thing about this is that a lot of the conservatives who originally liked him as a musician, they loved his song, they turned their backs on him because he said that a diverse America is basically what makes us. He said that a diverse America is a great America, right? And that's something that we should not be ashamed of. If anything, we should look at that as our power, right? That's what he stated. And anybody who is conservative, who is like heavy conservative, whatnot, or whatever, that loved him, they hated him as soon as they sat up there and heard that and read the article. Craziness, how quick. He literally, like, he came, his song, all of his songs came like a bat out of hell. And you heard all of these people. If you look him up on YouTube right now, you'll see him directly up there. Quite a few of his songs actually charted higher than Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift, as we all know, that's America's sweetheart. Again, that dude came out of this dude right here, came directly out of nowhere, and his songs were sitting up there, charting up there with Taylor Swift and Charlie Puth and, Put and all these, other people directly out there. And people were literally championing his song. When you look at some of the compilations, you got people crying. I'm talking about like some of the main ones crying. You got black people crying because it's like everything that he's sitting up there saying in that song, it hits home. You sitting up here working a 9 to 5, not getting paid nothing. The dollar ain't worth nothing. Rent going up, right? Like he was listing like, let me see. Tippy said, I never heard of him. Been stuck in the bloodline lately. I don't even know what that is, Tippy. I don't even know what that is. You talking about vampires, Tippy? Sound like you're talking about vampires. Um, Let me see. Miss Williams said the foundational have ancestors spent their lives overseeing us and no idea that their work was for the purpose of Babylon, not for supremacy. Well, the main thing that I've always said is that it's going to be what it's going to be because everything that they work so hard in order to push towards and affect everybody else with is going to inevitably um, harm them. You know, wait, you meant to say you've been stuck on bloodline. Okay, I got you. But yeah, I'm not gonna play it here because that's gonna get copyrighted to hell and back. So you can just look up the dude's name. Let me see where that dude's name is. His name is Oliver Anthony. Like I said, when you hear the song, the video is the compilation video is nice. You can look up the compilation video, or you can happen to look them up directly on Spotify and give the song a listen. And like I said, the song it got like heart directly to it. You got heart directly to it. And the funniest thing is, a lot of people were like, "Yo, I think he's putting on that accent. I think he's a plan. I think after he sat up there and said that diversity is America's strength, and that's something that needs to be embraced, and we should look at that as a superpower and stuff like that. After they started hating him on that, they were like, "Yeah, we think that he's a plant. We think that they planted him to be the brand new golden boy, or the spokesperson person for the Republican Party." Like they were really just trying to find any which way to not like that guy. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, that's crazy. Just because he said diversity is a good thing. Conservatives did not like that at all. Zero, zilch, nada. Tippy said, been on and off social media. Okay, I got you. I got you. I got you. You know what? You about to get off my lap. You about to go right back in your bed. Doing too much. But yeah, it's crazy. Tippy said, I'll check him out. He's basically sings about all races, should hold hands and come together. No reparations for black people. Okay, got you. Well, well, not even just that. Like I said, when you happen to, matter of fact, you don't even got to technically listen to the song. You could look up the lyrics on what was it, lyricgenius.com. I forgot. They got a lyrics site, directly up there. You can just read the lyrics. You could read the lyrics. Typically read the lyrics. Read the lyrics. But the one thing I will sit up there and say is, you know, I don't expect somebody, who ain't black to sit up there and, try to speak for reparations. You got a lot of black people at this moment in time that are against reparations for black people. So, you know, it's it's a different type of world out here. People are against, reparations for black people, but not reparations when it comes to like other groups. Hilarity that takes place. Hilarity. Yeah, I'm going to probably have to do a solo video on some of these articles here because I know a lot of people ain't going to check up or catch up on the live stream. I actually been talking for 2 hours. That's crazy. Like I said, this is all thanks and much due to a lot of you guys. Directly in this live stream at this moment in time. Like I said, shout out to y'all. Much love, respect, and appreciation. To adding into the conversation and different things of that nature. Much love, respect, and appreciation. But yeah, originally I wasn't even trying to make it that long or anything like that. I was actually supposed to be about like 30 or 40 minutes. That I was supposed to just like shoot through all of these. What's the name? Tippy said, I know that, but I don't like Palm Color folks singing. We should come together. I mean, he didn't really, in a sense, say like come together. He was just pointing out the things that people in general were basically like going through: rent, bills, jobs, food, cost of living, like just basic everyday stuff. It's pretty much like stuff like that. And talking directly from his perspective. Like I said, the main people, if black people do a song, you know, our stuff can pretty much encompass everybody. We could be literally talking about black issues, but it can still like encompass, and other people can technically like pull something directly from that. I guess that's just how it works for us. in a sense, like if black people sit up there and say like fight the power, everybody else is like, yeah, fight the power, stuff like that, and different things of that nature. If you don't get that, I don't know what's wrong with you. Miss Williams said I was watching a snippet of 40 Acres and a Mule, and white people stated that it would currently be worth 830K for each descendant of chattel slavery. Yeah, I believe it. I believe it, and that's one of the reasons why they're not going to do it. Like, I put it to like this: if they were like, yo, if in order to give black people something, it only costed like $100 for each black, they would do that. If it was like 50 or $100, they would have no problem sitting up there sending out those checks. The government will easily, oh, we're gonna get you. We're gonna have y'all shut up about slavery. Here's your reparations, $100. Y'all got it. This is what everything is worth, $100. Never like that's the end of talking about slavery, or we don't gotta put it in books. We don't gotta do anything because we gave you reparations. Like I said, America would literally, in order to get off of this whole thing and not have to talk about or worry about or think about teaching in the schools, they would very easily give up that $100 if it was that easy. But due to the fact that it's a ridiculous number, they're like, yeah, we ain't doing that. Y'all gonna be waiting for the third coming of Christ before you happen to see that. You know. But like I said, the black community will be sitting back as we did with the Asian community and watch them get a form of reparations, along with other people get a form of reparations. Even some people who are not even from the United States, they might be from Europe, and they're getting a form of reparations, which is crazy, along with other United States benefits, which is again pretty crazy. But I want to, keep y'all here for that long. Just wanted to go over a few things. Was able to touch on some other topics as well. Thanks to you guys in the comment section, jogging my memory and writing stuff down there in chat. Like I said, much love, respect, and appreciation to everybody in attendance. Thank you guys for being here, paying attention as long as y'all did, and staying here with me through all of my talking. And going over and trying to find some of these articles real quick so that I can at least give y'all some type of a source or a lead to go directly off of. And again, for anybody that might have issues with some of the stuff that I brought up, I will implore you to do your own research, find or get your own leads, and make it do what it do, and be as educated as possible on the topic, and and work from there. To be said, good night to you and midnight, Lord. I'm not telling that cat nothing. Getting on my nerves this whole live stream. Is what he said. Always a pleasure, Sir Seiji. Much love, respect, and appreciation to you guys. Love you guys. And as always, I will see you guys on the next live stream. I think I was about to actually press the wrong button. Let me see. I'm messing up on my own outros. Tia said, y'all, said your Cash App is as such much love and appreciation to Tia for, posting that directly up there. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Oh, and also before, I'm glad that, Tia brought that up. Much love and respect and, to appreciation to anybody who has donated, directly to the stream by way of PayPal, Patreon, or Cash App, past, present, and or future. So much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all of you guys as well. And I will see you guys on the next live stream. You guys have a good night or have a good work night, good morning. Stay safe.